Very good morning to you here on this Saturday morning at 7 a.m. I'm here with the lovely Lou Withers. Good morning, my darling.
Good morning.
She's got another fabulous Frida Kahlo shirt on her there. She was donning a beautiful one when I saw you the other night. Now tell me, Craft a Scope, for those of us that are not familiar with the company, who are they? What are they about, Lou?
Well, Nick, our Nick from Bulgaria, Nick from Barnsley, was over the years, everyone's got to know him, and he got, you know, his way of working and his crafting, and then everybody said, why don't you make your own? So that's what you did, and he came along, but due to recent, obviously what's going on, he's not able to get over here. So I said, when he asked me, absolute privilege to do this. So Nick sort of the idea of, he's a crafter, he's made, that's who he is and what he does, and he's put together all these different things. So he's come from the crafter's point of view, and that's where he is clever. He's sort of like a bit of everything, that's what they want. And you know, and these people have said, can we have some Spanish sayings? So he's put them on.
Oh yes, we noticed that, yeah.
Yeah, and you know, and different little sayings like that. So he really listens to people. But yeah, like, he'd love to be here, but he can't. So
absolutely. So well, let's have a look at what he has brought us. Yes, and if you missed yesterday's show with Lou, Lou was with us at 5 o'clock demonstrating these fantastic stamps and dies. So at the moment on the screen I've got 4 die sets that I'm going to show you, so let me take you through them. First up we have the Hex Striplet. Now this is a very large die comprising of 2 parts. The frame, as you can see there, and the actual inner sort of fretwork there. It's lovely, and it ties in with a lot of the cubic and hexagon work that we've got in terms of the other dies. That is a beautiful die, isn't it?
It can be masculine, it can be feminine, and it can be grungy or quite clean and crisp. It can be all those things, can't it, really?
Absolutely, and I know Lou's going to be working with that this morning. So that's just 2 of them. So let me just move along, because now I've got the happy hexes, and these are gorgeous. These are our happy hexes. So we've got a couple of dies in there, haven't we, Lou? Yeah. We've got 3 dies, am I right?
Yeah, and the different sizes. So they fit with the ones that we've already had in the tumbling blocks, and those of people who know the quilting will know that that's one of them as well. And then you've got the beehive. But yeah, again, you can use it, a really nice simple card, and you can actually use it, build it up, and you've got nuts and bolts for your steampunk.
Ah, yes, I like that idea, the steampunk. Sorry, I'm dropping lovely samples on the floor, and I don't want to do that. Bear with me, Lou, bear with. Right, let me pop that down there. And then we have got another one. This one is our Hex Fun. So again, you can see this tying in now with our other set of dies there. So I'm just trying to, there we go. So this is, I think you said the honeycomb to me, did you, Lou, on this one, did you?
Yeah, I'm going to use that as well. And it's great because if you're into your paper piecing, you've got your inners and your outers. And again, tumbling blocks, but then again, you've got the nuts and bolts. And if you want to, you can be quite clever and position the little square, little hexagons into the big hexagons, and you get really great nuts and bolts.
Some lovely backgrounds as well can be created from that. If I show you this one, we've got this lovely die coming up in a moment. I'll show you that, but it can be bought on its own. So that's our next, and then moving on, we've got the Hex Barge. Yes, the Hex Barge. Now, this is a Hex Large, barge. So sorry, my eyes this morning. The Hex Large. I quite like the idea of it being a barge. You would tell me about this one. This is lovely, isn't it, Lou?
Yeah, this again is the tumbling blocks. And when you learn about 3-dimensional drawing and stuff, this is one of the blocks that we use, and you do a light, medium and dark colour on it. And you can fit the others with it, so you've got a whole range of gradients, but they're great for the quilters as well, because you can actually use these to print on. Yeah. You can print with a die. You don't have to just cut.
That would be great for you, and we've got some lovely fabric samples on the show.
Oh, some of it's amazing.
Yeah, this is the Hex Large and the Happy Hexes and the Craft a Scope Hex Fun. So that's using 3 of the sets of dies, and we've got some stamps in the collection as well. So, yeah, very cool sort of. It'd be a very cool notice board, actually, wouldn't it?
It is, and it reminds me of a scientific.
Science, yeah.
It's great. It's great for learning.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah, with the blocks and the letters, ABC or whatever. £51.96. You've got a £5 saving, which I want you to commit to memory for me. £5 saving there. We've got it on 2 Flexify payments for all the dies there of £25.98, 354145. You can get these individually, I'm going to highlight as well as we go through the show. But I want to continue, remember that saving. I want to continue now to my media stamps. And this is a Slice of Heaven. Now we've got a lot of stamps on this one. Let me just move, there we go, move that. So you can see here, this feels like almost like a mandala, isn't it? The way you've coloured that one and stamped that one there, Lou.
That one's beautifully done with all the embroidery on it, and it's to resemble like the Elizabethan crewel work. I know Annie did these, is amazing with the stitching, but I love the idea it's gone past paper onto stitching and fabric now.
That's gorgeous. Beautiful. And if I'll show you another one here with a lovely background, and we've got that fantastic sentiment, somewhere the sun is shining. And again, you've just mentioned about that, how it moves into the stamping there again. Yeah. Oh, sorry, upside down. There we go, Fiona. That's Elaine's. And just to highlight as well, this will be dispatched on the 29th of September. You've got 18 stamps in total. There's some lovely sentiments if you have a little closer. Everything you love lives inside of you. Have I got that upside down? No. Oh, it's because it's on the side, isn't it?
Yeah. There are some lovely... To me, I can see the pomegranate there, which is a sign of life, Elizabethan sign of life, and the flowers.
Although I can see the Spanish there as well.
Some great crewel work.
Slice of heaven. There's lots of treasures to be found. Now my producers said that these are made from recyclable material, thermoplastic rubber.
Yes, and they're similar. They're not red rubber, but the next closest thing, because you can do lots of different things with them. So no worried about heat or anything like that. You can use them all. But
Fantastic.
You know that's important nowadays. Yeah. And the packaging have been reduced as well.
Fantastic. So there's no waste. That literally is the size of it, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
£21.99, dispatch on the 29th, 108543. Let me mention my next set, Beautiful Days. Now again, let's have a look at some of these sentiments on there, because it is fantastic. I'm just trying to read sideways. A dream is all it takes. Enough is as good as a feast. It's my time now. Beauty is only half the story. Where did I see that on a lovely card here this morning? I was admiring that. I know there's... Well, anyway, I'll find it. Here we go. I've got some beautiful samples here as well. There we go. There we go. And that stamp, as we've used it, or it's been used there by Elaine. I like that. I really like that around the geometric shape, you know, just moving those words like that. Isn't that gorgeous? And again, you'll notice the dye is used in the background of this one here. So that's the Beautiful Days there. The sun is shining. Yeah, lovely. So this one is Beautiful Days there, and you have 15 stamps in total, £21.99, dispatched on the 29th, 400762. Moving along to True Friends now. Tomorrow's here, and what today? And called tomorrow is here. It's called Today. Oh, I love this one. I'm going to walk over here just to grab this. This is probably where I've seen it. Did I read that right? Tomorrow is here, it's called Today. Yes, exactly, makes perfect sense. And this is the one I like, a true friend. I'm going to show you a lovely card here. What's that say about playing too loud? Well, getting there, that's playing too loud. A silence that's playing too loud. I love these. Birthday. And I love the fanning out of the leaves there and the sort of sea anemone. And have a look at that. Isn't that pretty? And again, using that hexagon there for your easel card. Isn't that beautiful? And those stamps as well. £21.99, 12 stamps. That one is your True Friends, 162669. Okay, then I've got my Paisley Palace. Now, somewhere the sun is shining, I guarantee it. Again, so obviously there's the Paisley theme in this one. We've got a bit of Spanish. I just got this Paola. I need Paola at days like this. Yeah, she is with me. She's on the one day special. Somewhere the sun is shining. I've said that, haven't I? What's that one say? Never break. Now, I'm going to have to move it to show you that one. Right, I'm going to move it, everybody. I'm going to move it. Your dreams can take you anywhere. There we go. Your dreams can take you anywhere. I'm sorry, I seem to have an inability to read it. You never know what's up ahead. Let's have a look at this one. There we go. Beautiful. Nice use of the background there as well. And there we go. I like that. That's gorgeous as well. Brian. Yeah, that's the one I was trying to read. I like that because it's kind of almost like deliberately sort of grunged, isn't it?
Yeah, I like the fonts. They're different, aren't they?
Yeah, very much so. That's what's so brilliant about the sentiments. That's lovely. That's a beauty, isn't it?
Yeah, that fills you with, well, colour always makes me happy.
Yeah, definitely. £21.99 for the Paisley Palace stamps. 21 stamps, £21.99, 807536. And last but not, I know I'm still going, everybody. Silver Lining is this one. And again, have a little look at this. We've got 15 stamps in this collection, £21.99. Now this one intrigued myself and Lou. An onion shared with a friend tastes like roast lamb. Now I've never had that.
I've never heard that one. I'm wondering whether that's been translated. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yes.
You know, from another language or
Paola, you
saying...
ever heard of that expression?
No, but it makes sense. It means that, you know, something that is sour
and oniony.
Is onion.
Tastes sweet. It's sweet and joyous, and when you're with a friend. Yeah, I get it now. They needed Paola, you see, to tell us.
Of course we do.
And then we've got hold on tight to those you love. Ah, definitely. And I love the little, they're beautiful. She likes that one. Well, I get the onion one. I'm so glad she's here. There we go. And there we got look for the silver lining. That's a great one, isn't it? Look for the silver lining. That's what we need. And is that what this one? I thought it was that one. Oh, that's on that one. I must move that somewhere the sun is shining. But I think it's using the flowers there we've got at the bottom. So that's the sentiment for my last set. But there's little flowers there. Isn't that gorgeous? Just masking that off there. It's beautiful. 21.99 743 551. Now, I got to the end of the counter eventually, but if you want all the stamps together, that's 5 sets of stamps. I mean, how many? 81 stamps. They're £99.95, and you've got a further £10 saving, 028936. So you know what I'm going to say now that I've got to the end of the counter. If you want everything, so Lou's in a different postcode, quite frankly, all of those dies, all of these stamps, and we'll also bob in as a bonus gift this beautiful happy stamp. Yeah, it's happy die, sorry, not stamp, happy die, and it translates into your projects and looks beautiful like this. So that will be given us absolutely free. We've got a freedom discount there as well, so don't forget those savings I told you about. There's a further saving with the freedom discount of 136.72, including your postage and packaging, and that can be split up into 3 flexi-buy payments. Yeah, 146,370. So there's your 3 flexi-buy payments of £45.57. So you're getting all of those dies, all of those stamps, your bonus dies, an absolute freebie, which I must add you can get on its own, the happy die, just to flag that up if that's what you desire. And they can be all had together for 3 flexi-buy payments. And I got the freedom discount. Beautiful. I can see what you mean now. When you mentioned those hexagons, I'm going to bring that up with those dies. Isn't that lovely? Your paper piecing there. Isn't that beautiful almost? Woo! All your patchwork, I should say. Isn't that lovely? Saves you cutting them all out, doesn't it? Lovely. Right, I'll take that with me up to the dies. Let's have a look at the Triskaidekon. I don't know. I've never. These are words I don't even know what they mean. The Triskaidekon.
Oh, yeah,
the
Triskaidekon. That's a brilliant one.
Triskaidekon. How many sizes is a Triskaidekon?
I haven't got a clue.
Am I pronouncing it right?
But I didn't get that one, but it is a popular, very popular one. So I think, yeah, you know, it means a lot.
Triskaidekon. No, Triskaidekagon. That's it. There we go. I got there eventually. Triskaidekagon.
Or Triskaidekon. Whatever. It's one of them.
Anybody?
Try.
Everybody's gone quiet.
Try's more than 3, isn't it?
I know it's a decagon. And I know it's a Triskaidekagon. There we go. We're getting there. So like a language. Triskaidekagon. Yeah. Triskaidekagon. I don't know.
I love the way that our Paola's correcting us because she speaks better English.
Yes, exactly.
It's true though, isn't it?
We need her for the. She is. She's better in English than the rest of us.
She's better Queen's English, yeah.
I'm so sorry. I must tell everybody. Over 70% of the Triskaidekagon, however you want to say it, the tri or the tri, 12, over 70% gone. I love that because it isn't usual to have all those sizes, isn't it? 14.99 909 485. It's lovely.
Price for that, all those.
I know.
Oh.
Cracking. Right, Lou, over to you.
Right, well, I thought I'm going to do my bit because they said to me, what are you going to do last night? And I said, well, I've got mixed media plans. So what I've done is, I love these dies and stamps and stuff. And I wanted to show you that the stamps all fit together. So it's a bit difficult because you've got to get them all, which it's good and bad, isn't it? So what I've done is I've die cut out this one. I don't even know what the name is, so I'm not going to say it. And I promise I do this with everybody. I just say that one. It's a tumbling blocks design. But then the outside of it, you get this wonderful frame. So I've cut them out of different bits of paper that I had left because I want to do more of a recycled one. So I've got that. I've cut a piece of paper that actually fits within that. So I'm going to make a sort of elegant tag. So, and I've got some bits that I've cut out. I've got some, I haven't checked the paper for Rudy words, so bear with me. And I've got some bits of paper that I had left. So, dies and the paper piecing that goes in them. So you can see. And then what I've got as in stamps, I've got the stamps, and each one of these is off a different set, but they all fit together perfectly. And you can see different sizes, different widths of line, but absolutely amazing flowers. And if you're into your flower forming, these are perfect for it. So I thought I'd use all these in the sizes to create a tag, and a bit of a mixed media one. So the first thing is, I'm not going to actually touch the background, but I'm going to use this before I use it as a piece. I'm going to use it as a stencil. So I've got a little bit of white paint and I've got a little bit of spray. Now you can use anything you want. I'm just using this because it's potent, she says. And I love the colour. It just makes me very, very happy. And it's a lime greeny colour, but it's very, very strong. You can use paint, you can use anything you've got. But what I am going to use is a good old kitchen sponge, as you do, a bit of white paint, and I'm going to just create my own colours to go with it. Because, oh, let me remind you, I'm going to use these stamps, ink, sorry. So it makes sense that I'm using this sort of greeny colour. So I don't want it strong, I don't want it too strong. And by that I mean I don't want to dampen the paper too much. So you'll know which is the back end of your paper die cut, because it's less, it's not as rounded. So I'm just putting a little bit on here. Now this will be the background, so I'm not too worried about this. I'm going to put, it's very warm in here, so I'm just having to add more water, but I'm adding a little bit so it sponges through like that. And don't forget, I think we always, I know Paola's good at this and Leonie does it, but we always sort of just make sure you realise there's so many different uses for your dies, not just one. You know, you don't just think that, oh, you can only use them as a die cut. Stenciling brings the die cut together with the background because you're using the same thing. So you let that waft a bit. And it doesn't matter if it's on the back, because that actually looks better than that if you don't want it as harsh.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, it does.
I like that a lot, yeah.
And then what I'm going to do is, just while it's like that, it's actually quite dry now, is if you're not sure, just use the back of your paper just to take the, because what you don't want is, you don't want it too heavy. You can go and do the same around here. I'm not doing that quite yet. So, happy with that. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to get the glue out. I've unbunged it.
And we're half the stock gone for the Hex triplet die set, which is 2 dies, as you can see, that Lou's using right now, $17.99.
Really
half the
like
stock's gone, dispatched on the 29th of September.
I really, really like them. They're really, really nice, elegant, but also so useful for cutting up. And I've got a little bit of text paper, and I'm just going to rip a little bit off. And I put some glue on the side here, and I've just added a little bit of water because it's actually really strong, this glue, and I don't want it to be taking ages to dry. So all I'm doing is putting a little bit there, leaving it hanging off the edge because I don't want that, and just making sure, tiny bit, use my finger and the glue and a little bit of the colour. So I'm actually colouring the glue, and what that does is just takes a tiny bit of the edge of that paper and blends it in. Only a tiny bit, then a little bit of the white, again using my finger, and blend it in, and it just helps it to sort of marry, if that makes sense. So I've got that, I really like that. And then I've got this pearlised paper which I use to stamp with. Now you fold towards you get white river on that one, you get plain river on that one. All depends on which side you want. And you think, well, where do I want this? I think I quite like the idea of having a strip showing underneath the hexagon that I'm going to use. So I'm just going to place a bit there. It all looks really strange at the moment, I do realise that. The bits that I've torn off, I'm going to add down here because the rule of threes is really important to me. So composition wise, oh, stick down, come on, not to my finger.
The Tri-K Decagon, limited stock, everybody. or if you want to call it the Trisquet Decagon. It's limited anyway, whatever we want to call it. $14.99, limited stock 909. Don't miss out, 485.
That's good, really.
Yeah,
It's
and we haven't even
that.
shown it yet. But anyway, it's going to be gone.
What I've done now is, whilst it doesn't matter that it's still wet, I'm just going to put the same stencil but over the edges of the papers. And what this does is it doesn't make it look as stuck on, it makes it look like it's part of the background. Oops. Just bear in mind that this is paper, so you do need to watch it. Can you see how that marries in a little bit better now? You can't see edges. But what you do get is this lovely light play on it. So you give that a quick dry, and I am going to give it a blast. It won't take me a minute, just to take the edge off.
But you know, would you want a bit of useful information from my producer?
Yes,
and actually, useful, I said, not useless. I said useful. And also, this word came up with Hayley the other day when we were doing weaving in the one day special on Tuesday.
Yeah.
She told me about the Trisquet Decagon, because that was the word she taught me that day, because they had a 13-sided something or other.
Oh, 13.
But anyway, it's the fear of the number 13. What's phobia? No, Triskaidekaphobia or something. Yeah, the fear of the number 13.
Oh, so it's 13 sides then?
Yeah.
Absolutely, makes sense.
Trisquet Decagon.
I know that. That's sticking in my memory now, though.
There we go.
So I've got this big and juicy pad, and mine's mingled a bit, but I really love these. And I've got this greeny browny colour here, and I'm going to use it to just stamp over, and it'll just bring this lovely colour into... I'm not using all of them, and I'm using what we call first and second generation stamping, because some of it I don't want as strong, I only want light. Then I'm changing it up, and I'm going to put the next size up or smaller. It's entirely up to you.
Yeah.
The finer lines. These make great stamp. What's it called? What do they call them? Oh, doodling, for the middles of your doodling. I'm using a little bit of paint just to add a bit more texture to that now, and you'll see it's starting. You might need a little bit more, but that's not... Don't put too much on. You're better off adding than trying to take away, because you can't really do that with paint. It's difficult. So I'm bringing the colours together. I'm trying to get them to marry. That's it. So I'm happy with that. Always wash, though, because what they are, even though these are substantial and the polymer's brilliant, you don't want to fill the gaps in. You want all that detail to remain there. So it still looks a bit strange, but hey-ho. And when I cut it all down, you'll see. So the next thing is, I have got some elements of the... I like to think of it as the honeycomb, but you can call it whatever you want. And I'm just placing...
Happy hexes, aren't they? Is that the happy hexes? Yeah. Half the stock gone for the happy hexes, approaching 60% gone.
Doesn't surprise me in the least.
Because they can be used, they are so versatile like that, aren't they?
They are really versatile. So I've got that on there, and then what I'm going to do is just a few of the inside pieces I am just going to add. I'm not sticking them on, because to me, sticking them on and leaving them like this, if I leave them this colour, you're right, automatically goes to that, and that's not what I want.
No.
I don't want that. I want that to be integrated. So I'm going to go back to this, and I'm going to go back to that bit, and I'm just going to rip. And what I will use the rest of this in another piece, so it's not wasted. I mean, I've got quite a lot of use out of it at the moment, thinking about all the different things I've done with it. So I'm just going to glue a little bit. And the way I've always done my gluing is to put it on a surface and then do it that way. It seems to, well, it behaves better for me anyway. And just take a minute to think, right, does it work better there? Does it work better there? Just don't rush into it. I tend to rush into it, and it can spoil it.
I like it now that you've torn it, Lou, as well. I liked it before, but there's something, it adds a new dimension with it, the edges torn like that.
Well, you also see another pattern now. Can you see the star?
Yeah.
So you can fill that in, and you can do whatever you want, but the star's more apparent now. And all I'm going to do is get my little bit of a sponge, and I'm just going to take the edge off some of these, just by taking them down. Now that immediately...
Yes, it's toning it down,
has toned that right down. So I'm happy with that, really happy with that. What I'm going to do now is I've got the sentiment out, and I quite like this paper. because this paper's I've already stamped on. And I did that, there it is. And I sort of thought, well, I really like this one, and I like the idea of having it diagonal that way rather than, not diagonal, sorry.
On the vertical.
Vertical, that's the one. And I'm using this paper just there like that because I think I like Take the Flight, which is the word on there, chapter 1. It's almost like a story. And you can sort of incorporate stuff like this into your work. So even though it's not part of it, people will read that. So I'm just going to stamp this, see what it looks like. So it's got a range of colours now, a bit of orange as well.
There's lots of treasures to be found.
Yes, I really like that.
Yeah, that's lovely with that typescript as well. You're right, it looks beautiful.
I'm just going to tear the bottom. You can do whatever. You can cut it on your guillotine if you so wish. But we can have it like that. You can have it off the side, which sort of compensates there. But yeah, I think I will. So I'm just going to add a little bit. Now what you can do is you could add some behind there. You can add any sort of paper you want. I'm just going to stick it in here. Take that one off, actually.
They work so well together, those dies, don't they, Lou?
Yeah, they do.
It's great we've got the big bundle there on the screen. 29th of September is the dispatch, and don't miss out on your Tri-K Decacon, so I can't possibly ever say it again. Those 13... How many were in that set? Or are in the set? I know there's 13 sides. 12. 12.
Right.
12 dies, bargain.
So what you do now, just to finish a little bit off, you think, oh, that looks higgledy-piggledy. And it will do, because if you try cutting things to size before you've glued them, I can guarantee you, well, I know mine always go Pete Tong, always.
Really?
They never
So
fit
glue,
right.
then cut.
Oh, always. It's a bit like measure twice, cut once.
That's true, yeah.
Because otherwise, mine just go, they do. I'll get all the measurements perfect, and the next minute I know it's all gone skew-whiff again. So
Yeah.
I've got a darker green, which you've got to make sure before you start that they're going to go with. And I think that might be a little bit too much, but if I mix it with a little bit of this, it might be the colour I want. A little bit darker than the colour I've got, but not that dark that I'm changing it completely. So the way to do that is put a little bit of your colour down, mix it together. That's better now, and I've toned it right down, and then dry it right off, because I want to create more of a sponged edge, not a painted edge. So I really want to just get the edge.
Nick has emailed in. He says, good morning, everybody.
Hello.
Good
How are
morning to
you?
Nick. Third of the stock of the complete collection of the dies, I should say. I shouldn't call it the complete, but the die collection that you can see here, 51.96. Third of the stock has gone, just to flag that up.
So just the very edge of that. And then if you want to, while it's still, you can sort of bring in, and this is for any crafter. If you are more experienced, if you are less experienced, you do what you feel comfy, but knowing that you can use all the stamps in this way, it just makes it for everybody. So I've got it like that. I really like that, but to finish it off, because at the moment it looks really plain, is just a couple of blobs of glue, as you do. It's good glue, that. And then
It's great glue. Fixed my earring this morning, that glue.
It
No word
did,
of a
didn't it?
lie. Yes, fixed the earring. We had earring gate, didn't we, Lou?
yeah. So I'm just putting it back onto the very first one I showed you, the outline.
That lovely frame on
and
the
it's
hex
now-
striplet, yeah.
I've done nothing to the frame, but you know, you can wait a minute if you want. You can add some embossing to the edges. So what I could do is just to bring in some different colours. I'll go for, I should have, there we go. I'm just going to put here, just to give it a little bit of difference. The last, and you know, to me, this is always the last bit. Don't do this earlier on. Well, mine always goes wrong if I do. So I'm just putting a little bit of glue there and there, and I'm using the gold, because the gold will fit better with the actual colour scheme. Now silver would be your blues and stuff, and I'm just rubbing a lot of that off, because what I'm going to do is get like a grungy sort of old look by embossing it, and I never get fed up of this, ever. Warm up your gun. It's a weird saying that, warm up your gun, isn't it? And then just add a little bit You can go wherever you want with it. You can have a little bit around your saying. But you get this nice sort of interference with the colour, and you get to see all the colours and everything on the edges, and it comes with the green.
So Lou, that's absolutely brilliant.
I really
love
enjoy
it.
doing that. Thank you.
That is fantastic. Can I have a quick recap and come straight back to you?
Yeah, I
is
need
that
to
all
clean
right?
up. That'd be
Now,
brilliant.
this is all of the die collections. So you are getting the Hex Striplet, you're getting the Hex Fun, the Hex Large, and the lovely Happy Hexes. But let's talk about the complete collection, because that includes these beautiful dies, it includes all the stamps and your lovely, lovely free, because if you get the complete collection, you are also getting that lovely, lovely happy die, which translates like this onto your sets, and we've got a freedom discount on that, so it's carrying all those fantastic savings over for you, and that brings it down to £136.72. So that die on its own, which you can get £16.99 at the bottom of the screen there, the Craftoscope Happy Banner die. That's the complete collection. All of the dies, all of the stamps, £136.72, 3 flexi-buy payments there, 81 stamps, 12 dies, including your free one as well. Fantastic. Right, we mentioned the dies, the set of 4, which are proven very popular. A lovely demonstration there by Lou. And if you want to watch the show at 5 o'clock last night on Rewind, please do. So our first one, you can get these individually. That first one is called the Hex Striplet. So that's 2 dies in there. My second one that you're looking at there is called the Happy Hexes. So that's this one. And that's the card I was looking for. So you've got that beauty is only half the story there. And you can see it there used in a background there as well on that lovely, lovely tag. And then literally just using those beautiful geometric shapes, you would come over to my next one, which is Hex Fun. Yeah. And again, this is the one that Lou was just using there as well, because it's almost like your honeybees. That die as well. Yeah, I'm just trying to find, where's my lovely bit of material gone? Oh, here we go. Oh no, that's my last one. And then we've got that there in the background there as well. Don't forget these lovely stamps are on the show. And then my last one is Hex Large, and this is what I was just rattling on about material for, because that large, lovely hexagon shape you can definitely use in your quilting. How fantastic is that? Because I know a lot of us love our quilting there as well, almost like your paper piecing. You can create your geometric shapes, you're learning there. Beautiful, aren't they? All of those dies, 12 in total, £25, 2 flexi-buy payments of £25.96, or one-off payment of £51.96, 354 145. I'll scoot along, mention stamps, and then we'll go straight back to our lovely Lou. So if you want the collection of all the 5 sets of stamps, that is 81 stamps in total. That is 3 flexi-buy payments of £33.32, 028936, and you're saving that £10. Now the first one is Slice of Heaven. Some great sentiments there, and it's got that beautiful, beautiful, almost like a mandala, or also Elizabethan crochet, not crochet. Elizabethan? What did you say?
Crewel work.
Crewel work.
C-R-E-W-E-L. Crewel.
C-R-E-U.
E-W.
Crewel work. What does that mean, Lou?
It's like you know when you see embroidery on the fine clothes,
yes,
or on furniture.
Yeah.
It was a needlework style.
Oh, there we go. I love a learning day. I love a learning day. Everything you love lives inside of you. A slice of heaven. Some fantastic sentiments. A lot of treasure to be found. Indeed, there is. £21.99. Don't forget dispatches the 29th of September, 108543. Cruel work. I'm going to look that up. Somewhere the sun is shining. Beautiful days indeed. Absolutely. Let's get that sun shining. Enough is as good as a feast. Nature's gifts. A dream is all it takes. Beauty is only half the story. And a lot of these lovely stamps we've already seen on the show in terms of some of the fantastic samples I've been putting into your eye line there. £21.99, 400762. A true friend now. A true friend is the one who walks into the room and everyone walks out. I mean, how fantastic is that? Tomorrow's here. It's called Today. Enough is as good as a feast. I like this one, and I don't know if you caught it a moment ago. There's a face I used to see. As in, where you been, you great galah? It's been forever since I saw you. Yeah, I think that's great. Where you been? There's a face I used to see. Come on now, give us a call. You fairy. on, where you been? I need to see you, yeah. Where have you been? I haven't seen you for absolute ages. True friend is one who walks into a room whenever he walks. I love that. I love these sentiments on this. I think this is my favourite. True friends, yeah. Silence that's playing too loud. £21.99, 162669, 12 stamps on that one. Now, yes, my producer's quite taken with the onion one, aren't we? We love this onion one now because is it no, it's coming up. It's in silver lining. She's very excited because she's dying to tell us the meaning, but I think Paola already has, if you don't mind me saying so. It's Paola, un diamante de para siempre. Any translation? Can we just go back on that, Chris, so our Paola can see? Un diamante de para
un diamante es para siempre. Diamonds are diamond is forever.
There we go. It's much better when Paola says it, isn't it?
Yeah, that sounds better than.
Say it again for me, Paola.
Un diamante es para siempre.
Un diamante de para siempre.
Es para siempre.
Es para siempre. Anyway, I'm useless. It's lovely. A diamond is forever, just like a friend. Yeah, that's gorgeous. And let me just show you this because it's beautiful. That's what I call my daughters. Your dreams can take you anywhere. Yes, indeed, they can. £21.99, 807536. And my producer's favourite, an onion shared with a friend. Tastes like roast lamb. Now, Paola explained this to us because we were like, well, where are we going with it? It's just, you know, something that's as well, I suppose sour as an onion, tastes sweet and fantastic, like roast lamb when you're with a friend. Well, it's all good. The outlook's good. Things are great when you're with the ones you love.
Unless you're vegetarian.
Unless what?
Unless you're a vegetarian.
Unless you're a vegetarian, yeah.
And then it tastes.
Eat an onion.
And then you have to eat the onion, yeah,
and
if you're
then you'll
vegetarian.
have a nut roast.
So what's the actual translation, my producer? An Egyptian proverb.
I told you it was translated, didn't it?
Oh, it's an Egyptian proverb, and it means the quality of the food is not important, it's who is hosting.
That says a lot about the Egyptian food.
There we go. 21.99 743551. It's good. This has got us talking, isn't it? Stamps that get you talking a little bit different.
Yeah.
Fantastic. That one is 21.99 743551. Now, the tricadecagon or tricadecagon. I don't mind which way you say it. The tricadecagon, the tricadecagon. It's £14.99, 12 dies, 13-sided each of those. I mean, I learnt this word the other day. You think I'd remember with the lovely Hayley. 909485. We're limited stock, but there is still some availability, so don't miss out. And we'll show you that complete collection once more. All of those beautiful dies, all of those fantastic stamps. Don't forget dispatch the 29th of September, 15191 146370. If you're a Freedom member, that takes it right down to 136. 72 pence, saving a further £15 if you're a Freedom Club member there as well. Right, I'm very keen to hand back to the lovely Lou.
I thought I'd do a couple of quick ones now because they've got some great stamps in between and you can't really tell on there how intricate some of these are. So this is the leaf stamp and I'm going to use it in conjunction with the die cuts and everything, but I'm going to do two different ones. So I've got Shabby Shutters Distress Ink and I'm just going to do I would normally do second generation stamping on this, but it's so fine I don't need to. So I'm just going to might be hard to see, just randomly all over the background to create what I think is quite an elegant look. It's nice and subtle, which isn't really me, is it? So, but I really like this idea of making your own note paper, or it's a beautiful background, and you can do it on fabric. Don't forget. So you know you're not just tied to cards and papers. So I've done that. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go with another green, which you can use whichever greens you want, and I'm going to use the same stamp, and I'm going to over stamp. So we're going to get a layers of colour, and then always I've got a really bad habit, but I've had to get into the idea now of stamping and to see what colour I get.
That leaf Lou is using, I've got one here, it's the same one, Lou, with the blue. It's in the silver lining stamps, and this was this is done by Brian, but it's a lovely stamp. That's just with that lovely texture background there as well. That's gorgeous, Lou.
It is. It's a lovely stamp, and it's not a block stamp, so it's sort of fine. It's fine enough to do this with. So I've picked a different area of my stamp block. You can use whatever colour, and I'm just now going over. So you're faintly seeing the background of the greens coming in, and then you've got that. But I'm going to take that one off, and we've got this amazing Sputnik. I don't know what it's called, but it's like the inside of a flower. It makes great. It's great for embroidery, this, because it sort of enables you to do these like little French knots. So I'm going to put this one right on the top. Now you can use black. Black's a good one for this. I'm going to stop see, before I go back onto that, I'm going to see if that's enough. No. So you get your black. I'm going to use a VersaFine for this because I want a nice juicy, heavy. I want this to be the focal point on here, and your eye will go to this. And when you're using something like this, make sure that you give a minute for the ink to sort of seep into your card. So I'm just... I love doing these sort of backgrounds because it shows people that you could take an ordinary piece of card and just make it your own, just totally make it your own without costing lots. But it's always going to match all your other stuff, always, because you've made it with the same items and things. So I'm just going to get a tiny bit of the shabby shutters if I need it. I might not need it. A big brush, and I'm just going to put a tiny bit of the water in the background. And what I want it to look like, you'll know this, Fee, is like the 70s wallpaper.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the
yeah, bold prints.
Yeah, and it was like always off matches, wasn't it?
Yeah, yes, yeah, odd combinations.
Yeah, and it was like, am I seeing it a bit, is it a bit woo like that?
They've sort of come back in vogue again, though, haven't they?
Absolutely.
So, you know, the real stylish wallpapers.
Even my clothes have the clothes I used to play on my bike
and the
with,
colours.
Rip pants, and I'm not the jeans and stuff, but like smocks and stuff.
And the cords and
Where we used to didn't care what we put together, it just as long as you could go out on your bike on it. So I'm just using this now to give it a bit of depth in the middle, and then you're right now, purposely go straight to this shape, and it only just sees the background once it's seen these first, and it's a great way of making a focal point. And I think, I mean, I love that. That's just one quick background.
It's gorgeous, Lou.
I really like that.
Yeah, it's fab.
And you know, you could even use the one you're stamping on. So we could use that if we wanted. It goes, if I cut it down, I've left this in purposely because I'm not always one for having everything dead neat and tidy. So I wanted to show you that I've left these in purposely so that I've got like a staggered look.
Yeah.
But if I chop that down now, just there, can you see how that jumps out? Now what you can do is we can go on for another one. So what we can do is add, I've got another piece here. So we can do the same thing, but just add a couple of these layers. So I'm going to show you using the VersaFine what it looks like using a similar style of leaf, but we're going to do second generation stamping just so you get the idea. And I've got it folded in half just so I know, and this is 7x7, and I've just folded it in half so I know I'm only going to use half of it, but I'm going to stamp on and off. So I take I don't know what it's called, but I'm going to call it a Sputnik. And then I've got this, it's a great one, it's got a great pattern in it for doodling. It's great. You see the lines. So I'm just going to take the first generation. That was clever. First generation off, because that's too much.
It found itself there, didn't it?
Yeah, way too much. That's too much. And I'm going to go second and third. I don't want the first one. It's way too heavy. I'm really getting into this style of stamping now, where I'm introducing lighter and darker colours. I think it's a good little technique. We used it years ago and we sort of forgot a lot of them. So taking a little bit off, you'll be able to see like on your stamp. Let me show you where I've missed a bit. You can see I've missed a bit there. So it's really easy to see that if I've got a bit too much ink, there we go, we can see that. I know Chris will be able to get this in, he's a master. So you've got the edges that are too heavy, so you know they're really easy to see that you've got too much ink on. So I'm just going to lightly go into the background.
I love that stamp. That's a fantastic one, isn't it?
It's great, isn't it? It's
That's
really
gorgeous.
simple to do. So I've got that. I'm keeping in with some of the dies I've got here. Now I have got some of these paisleys. Now the paisleys are brilliant, but you've also got these wonderful flowers that work the same as well. So what I would suggest you do is you could almost stamp loads of these and have them three-dimensional. So remember, we're only going to have that much. Right.
Lovely. Now, just a quick flash up, the Tri-K Decacon nesting dies there. We are down single figures, so please check out your baskets, $14.99, 909 485. You get 12 dies, dispatched on the 29th of September there. Or the Tris-K Decacon, however you want to say it, we don't mind. I'll just say it quickly then, it's no bother. Yeah, so don't miss out. Sorry there, Lou.
No, it's fine. I'm using my dirty pad here, but I'm just stamping on and off with my embossing powder. Ink, sorry, not powder. I'm just going to use a little bit willy-nilly. And it doesn't matter about there being a colour on it, because what I'm going to do, now you could choose any colour you want. I'm going to use gold because it's here. But it doesn't matter what colour. So I'm just going to emboss the gold areas. Now, so I'm putting the layering on, the gold on, embossing, and I'm going to end it with the die cuts, because the die cuts are so versatile. I wanted you to see that don't just have them as one colour. Use your embossing inks to change the colour of your die cuts, which I'm going to do. So never fails me, never fails. Warm up your gun.
That's it, heat up your gun.
Heat your gun up.
Warm up your gun.
And then it should just go, you know, be safe with it, but it should just turn straight away. If you don't, it's got a chance of buckling your paper too much. And you can see when you've done it, because it's no longer dull. So I'm just doing that. And again, your eye now travels to whichever one. It's travelling to my fingerprint at the moment because I can see it, but don't waft like this. Just as it goes, just take your gun like that. You'll see it move and just move with it. This is a great wheat gun, this. So, just to show you what I mean, I've got that now. I've got that pattern. I've got the
fantastic.
The different. I mean, silver
Love
would go
it,
with that. And then what I'm going to do is this. Going to get this wonderful die cut here, and I'm just going to press. Now you can get inks or anything that you prefer at home to do this, but my advice is do not do it with your hands like this. Dry your hands, because otherwise you'll just emboss your fingers with, well, you won't, but you'll get it everywhere and it sticks.
That's from
everywhere.
the Hex Fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
We've got a couple of images in, Lou, just while you're embossing.
Please.
This is from Judith. How beautiful is this?
Oh, look at that.
She made that with the new stamps.
That's
Isn't
the
that gorgeous?
flowers you can see,
Yeah.
can't you?
Isn't that lovely, Judith? We love that. And then Nick himself has been thinking of using said stamp for a
There you
feature
go.
wall in his living room. I love that.
Do you know what? He said that last night and I was like, wonder what he means feature wall. Now I realise.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's that 70s beautiful vibe, isn't it?
That's gorgeous, Nick. You could start making the wallpaper, Nick. I think this is an avenue for you.
It is.
He will post the picture when he's done, he says, when it's finished.
Brilliant.
Looks good, doesn't it?
It does. I love that idea. It's very fresh.
Yeah.
And you could just put that in a frame in your house and match all your decor to get to
Lovely.
it.
Oh, such a
Or
good
a
idea.
basket. So anything you've got, boxes, anything.
That's such a good idea.
I've just embossed that with some ink and then some gold.
Yeah.
I'm just going. You want to get something to hold it, otherwise it'll escape. And I've done it a little bit sort of patchy because I quite like that because it.
Bit weathered.
Yeah, because it goes with the background because you can see the black stamps in the background. I'm just going to very quickly, I'll cut it with scissors, cut this down. Now, this might not fit, but if it doesn't fit, it will just fit the... Might have to top it down a little bit more. Yeah, chop it down a little bit more. I'll use the guillotine. Why didn't I just do that in the beginning? So just always, like I say, cut later, because all these little bits are great for putting on your sayings on or anything like that. They're great. Perfect. Look at that. So, bit of glue on this.
We've got a good 5 minutes, Lou, just so you know.
Oh, brilliant. I've got loads of little techniques that I'm working. So I'll put that on there. So decide which way is up. It doesn't really matter. So I've got the patchiness of the background, and I did this on purpose. It is not the dye.
No.
I have left these in because I quite like that.
I like that as well, yeah.
What I've done is I've got patchiness on this where I've embossed and left areas that I haven't, and I'm just going to, oh, that's what I wanted to show you first. Look, it all matches, and you can just do as much as you want.
Build it up. Yeah.
So you can build it up massively. You can do it that way or that way. You can go any way you want and any shape. So if you want a specific shape coming down or building out, it'll be, the way it repeats is perfect. So I'm just going to put this in. Now, think, do you want it up here? Do you want a bit down there? And I'm beginning to think I quite like just having a little bit poking down there and a little bit here, just poking there, and I might even have that one there. So do all your dies.
This one's the hex fun, isn't it?
Yeah, do all of them if you want to emboss them. And again, I've got a different embossing technique on each side. One's heavier than the other, so you might, choose which ones you like. Have them pointing off or on your card, or use them whole. I quite like the idea of just ripping bits up. Where's the other bit? There it is. Ripping areas up and just using small areas rather than all of them, and then having one behind my saying. So I've got that there. Again, off to the corner. It's not in your face then. Just leave these cut for later. You could do that before you cut that on. And I've got this here, which I quite like. So you've got black, you've got the gold, you've got all that. And there's a saying, this one here, and I thought this would be really nice done. I was thinking text, but then I thought, well, no, it doesn't really work on that. So what I thought I'd do is I've got this bit here that's half stamped, so this bit about just
got about just under 3 minutes there.
Oh, no problem. So I'm just going to do some really light stamping. I don't need a lot.
Don't forget the complete collection does include that free gift of the happy die as well. You get all of those dies. 81 stamps. I've lost track of how many dies. There's loads. 12 dies there, and your lovely bonus of the happy free die there worth £16.99 at the bottom of the screen there. You get that as well, and 3 Flexi-Buy payments of £45.57. So yeah, a further £15 saving
really
there.
good, that, isn't it?
Oh, it's really fantastic. Good. Absolutely brilliant. 146370.
So I've just stamped in that. I'm just going to stamp this in and emboss it. And then what this will do is it's quite grungy, this, so it really does work. So try and get this done. So I've done a little bit of background paper. Get rid of all the excess that you don't need.
Now, we like that one, don't we, Lou? Because it's all sort of distorted on purpose, isn't it?
I love that, because it doesn't... If you do make mistakes like me, then it allows for them. So what you could do now is to get a little piece of that just on there, take that... There, that's better. Just cut that off, and you'll see now the background resembles what I've done in the background of that. I could, if I had time, what I might do is just emboss areas of this.
Got about 60 seconds.
Oh,
now, don't forget, technical sellout on the Tri-K Decacon.
There we go.
So please check out your basket. 12 dies in that nest there, 13 size. Oh, we need to get Nick on the case of that. Everybody loves a Trisquet Decagon. Maybe they just like us trying to say it.
Yes, I think.
Complete collection, don't forget, 81 stamps, 12 dies, plus your bonus happy die for absolutely free. A further £15 saving if you're a Freedom Club member as well. 146370. And also just to flag up, 29th of September is the dispatch date. So, last 40 seconds,
right,
lovely
well,
Lou.
I've decided I'm changing my mind, and what I'm going to do...
Shaking it up there.
Yeah, I'm going to have this cut up, because I don't want it all in one area, and I think by having it cut like that, I have now got something I just chop those bits off. I'm not going to do it now, but that to me makes more sense. And then a little bit of this each side, so I'll leave it like that, chop it off.
Lovely.
But you get the idea.
You get
You've
the
got
idea.
two little
Thank you, Lou.
there we go.
Brilliant. And you can watch Lou's show last night at 5 o'clock. Thank you so much, lovely Lou.
Lovely,
Really
thanks.
appreciate it. Let's see
Wonderful.
what's still coming up today on her Chandler.